Achieving financial success takes dedication, discipline, and most importantly, a plan. For over 30 years, Don Reynolds has helped savers define their needs, formulate their plans, and achieve their goals. From accumulation to preservation and protection, and through the income distribution phase in retirement, implementing the right strategies makes all the difference. Your retirement is our business. Welcome to Strategic Asset Preservation.
Well, hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Reynolds Wrap. I'm Don Reynolds, of course, and
Corey's still here with everyone. Thank you.
you'll probably know who we are now if you're watching the show. So we sure appreciate it. We hope we're bringing value to you, and that's really what this is about: is to bring education and value to help you be a more informed consumer.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about what we call the retirement roadblocks. And there's really 7 of them that are real issues. The first one's longevity. Then inflation, sequence of returns, withdrawal rate, Social Security, healthcare, and taxation. And those are really the biggies that really affect people in retirement. So when we talk about longevity, people are living a lot longer today than they were 20 years ago. That's for sure. They say that today, married couple, one of them's got a good chance of living to about 93. Men are living up to about 89. 50% of men and 50% of women live up to 90. So you think about that for a minute. And that's what we do when we plan for our clients. We're making sure, and we go all the way to 100. And most people say, well, I'm not worried about that. I understand you're not, but our job is to make sure, should you be the one, because here's the next statistic. 25% of men are living to 94, and 25% of women are living to 96.
Wow.
And 5% of men live to age 100, and 5% of women live to age 102. So that tells us we better make sure we're planning long-term for people. When you think about it, if you're going to retire at 60, that could be 30, 40 years of retirement. You better make sure you got a good plan in place.
Yeah. And longevity is really the magnification of all other risks. The longer you live, the longer you're going to have to face inflation, face taxes, face sequence of return risk, withdrawal rate risk, all those types of things. So that's why it's good to hit that one head on first, because it's a magnification of all these other roadblocks and all these other risks in retirement.
Yep.
I just can't believe people living to 100. It's that high.
It's
Crazy. So inflation, what is inflation? Well, inflation really comes down to the cost of goods and services increasing and expenses going up over time. It's been here forever. It will be here forever. It's not going away. I know it's a topic here that we've dealt with recently over the last couple of years, as far as inflation being a hyperinflation. I know it's been thrown on quite a bit, been higher than normal, higher than the averages. And if you look at rates, between 1960 to 2022, average historical inflation has been 3.8%, folks. So again, these numbers here just tell you that what you're buying and purchasing today and the purchasing power of your dollars and what you've got coming in for monthly income, it needs to make sure that you keep ahead of that 3.8% average inflation over that time frame. And if you don't, then you're going to fall behind. Your purchasing power will fall behind. You won't be able to afford the same goods, the same services, the same things that you want to do over those years, because again, that dollar will become less. You won't have as much to spend. It's not worth as much to buy it. So
yeah, for just a quick example on it too, just to give you an idea, how long will your, because income, we always talk about income at retirement. And so if you're at a 4% inflation rate, which again, Corey just talked about, since 60, it's been 3.8, very close. So that means every 18 years, you need to have your income double to maintain the lifestyle. So think about that for a minute once. Every 18 years, your income needs to double so you can maintain your lifestyle in retirement. The key is, how are you planning for that to happen?
Yeah.
And that's where we come in. We're going to talk to you about ways that we can, basically ensure, and I say ensure that can happen for you.
Yeah.
So
very important. And next topic is sequence of return risk. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know we've got many episodes on this. This is a near and dear topic to our hearts. Simply put, sequence of return risk deals with when you're withdrawing money from an asset, where and when potential negatives or losses come to those assets or dollars that are invested can greatly affect how long your money will last. And we call it the red zone. When you're in those first 5 years of taking money off and 5 years of planning, so it's kind of a 10-year red zone, you've got to be careful and you got to make sure and look at, how do I have my assets invested that I'm going to use for income? Because those negatives and losses, if it's in the market and they go down and we're starting to draw or being prepared to draw money off, it will greatly affect how long our money lasts. And again, talking about longevity earlier, we're going to have a plan that goes out to age 100 for all of our clients.
Yep.
Hey, 5% of you might live to that long, and we need to make sure that those 5% don't run out of money.
That's right.
And even a high percentage living into their 90s, as Don spoke about. We want to make sure we've got plenty of money for the life of you, and you want to make sure you do. You don't want to run out of money in your 90s and then, oh boy, where do I go from there? So,
right. It's too late.
Yeah.
You're not going back to work then.
Yeah.
So the next thing we'll talk about is withdrawal rate risk. And this is kind of tied to sequence of return risk in some respects. They used to say 4%. Bill Bengen created that 4% withdrawal rate. And back when interest rates were high, and now we're getting back up. So, it went from, it works. Then when rates dropped to basically next to zero, he said you got a 90% chance of failure if you keep drawing 4%. Where now we got rates back up over 4%. So you may be okay. But the point is you can see fluctuation go on here. And so I guess the key to this is, maybe if you could take the withdrawal rate risk off the table in retirement and just set yourself with guaranteed income, that can increase over time. Yeah. You basically got rid of sequence of return risk and withdrawal rate risk.
Yeah.
So there's simpler ways to do it, folks, to give you that security.
One thing to Google would be Dr. Wade Pfau. It's PFAU. So P as in Paul, F as in Frank, A-U. If you Google his name, you'll see quite a bit of episodes, YouTube videos on him speaking of withdrawal rate, sequence of return risk. Again, just educate yourself or come see us, because we can help with your personal situation, show you what it looks like for you and some of these roadblocks that may arise in your retirement that we want to make sure that we avoid and take care of. Social Security, again, another topic very near and dear to our heart. We'll kind of cruise through this one. The key with Social Security is make sure you understand your claiming options, when you want to start it, if you do have spousal benefits or not that you want to attain, if there's a widow benefit, make sure that you understand what it looks like for survivorship. Again, continue to be amazed how many people don't understand that the lower benefit will walk out of the household. Their surviving spouse will keep the higher benefit in a married situation, but that lower one does walk out of the household. So not only do you lose some income, you go to a higher tax bracket because now you're single, not married, filing jointly anymore. How do you handle that in your retirement plan? Yep. You got to make sure to understand that. And then the risks of Social Security, making sure it's solvent. I know Don and I stand firmly on this, that we don't believe that it will become insolvent. There has to be some changes. We agree with that. We believe they will make some changes. But again, with the government that we have right now and some of the chaos there, as we all put it, we don't have a lot of validity or confidence that they're going to deal with this anytime soon, but they need to. They really need to. So again, reach out to your local Congress, a man or woman, a person, to make sure to have them understand that this is important and they need to deal with this very soon.
Yep, they do. So healthcare, we talked about that in previous episodes. It's crazy what's going on with healthcare. It just is. And so for us, the key is you really need to understand what the increases are and what's happening with it. When we do a plan for people with our retirement analyzer program, we're putting in 5% per year, if you will, inflation adjusted cost for healthcare. And I think we're pretty good there. But when you think about that 5% every year, that's kind of scary at the same token. When you look at someone, so give you an example, at age 65, let's say your annual healthcare costs are about $12,000. By the time you're 75, they're 21. By the time you're 85, they're about 37,000. You put that into context, folks, that's huge. And so you got to make sure you got something going on to plan for that, because obviously you got to have healthcare as we age. It's probably the biggest thing we got to make sure we do have, and have good healthcare. So again, just make sure you're looking at this and making a plan for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. And, speaking of Social Security and potential risks there for solvency, the Medicare, Medicaid program falls right into that as well. So again, something to keep the finger on the pulse on and make sure you've got plans to deal with that and have the forethought to make sure that your plan will not be affected by anything that's coming down the road, any of these roadblocks we're talking about. And the last one we'll end with is again, near and dear to our heart, one of our topics that Don has founded and built the company on, and that is taxes. So I don't want to steal his thunder here too much, but I know there's plenty of episodes where Don has gone and shared his wisdom, which is great in this topic over his 40-year history of working in this area and dealing with taxes. The key there, folks, is are you going to pay now or are you going to pay later? You got to pay taxes at some point, right? So know how your money is going to be taxed is the big one. The source of your money. How am I saving it? Is it pre-tax? Is it post-tax? Is it a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA, a 401k, a 403b, a 457? How you save your money today when you are working greatly affects how it is taxed in retirement and has a cause and effect on Social Security taxation that we've talked about at length many times. So the key with taxation is just getting the education, understanding the source of the money will dictate how it's taxed. What are the rules around that? And then you've got some windows of opportunity in your life. And the earlier you come see us, those windows of opportunities can be exploited. They can be used. We can take advantage of that window of opportunity and make sure to put together a plan that will help with what you have done thus far and what we might want to change or undo going forward to help level out the taxes, especially the low tax environment we're in right now through 2024 and 2025 as current law sits. And with the unknown coming where taxes could go up, you may want to take advantage of this low tax environment. We are for our clients, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and for sure right now as it stands, the Trump tax cuts, they're going to expire at the end of next year. So if people don't understand, that means we're going to go back under current law to 2017 taxes. And believe me, they're a lot different than they are today. We talk about this in our workshops in the past where historical tax average is about 56%. Well, we're way below that right now, folks. So again, like Corey said, pay now or pay later. We know we're going to pay. There's no getting around it. But should you be deferring income today when we are literally in the most historic low levels of taxes? I just can't stress this enough to people. A lot of people don't even know that their companies have Roth 401ks.
True.
More and more companies have those. You just need to reach out to your HR department, or if you got Fidelity or wherever your assets are sitting, who, the holding company, they know what your company offers. So by all means, I implore you folks to ask the questions. Again, knowledge empowers you to make better decisions, but you have to know, is that an option? I just met some folks a couple days ago. And they have 401k Roth and a traditional, but she didn't understand the taxation of Social Security. They didn't realize what that was going to do to them. And after our meeting, she called me the next morning and said, so should I switch it all over to Roth? And I said, I would, if you can afford to pay the taxes today. She said, oh, I could do that. That's no problem. We're saving money. When we get our paychecks, we're saving money. Well, there's a direct sign that's telling me you can put a lot more money in that Roth because, again, you're paying the tax on it today. And when I showed cause and effect of it, it was kind of like the light bulb came on for these folks. And they're like, oh, my goodness, I wish I'd have known this and realized this years ago. That's our point we keep making to you folks. Come and see us. Give us a call. Again, no cost obligation. And we're going to show you how this works, how it happens to you. And that's why I implore you to start early. Okay. Like we said before, don't wait till you're 65. So with that, please give us a call at 651-773-3859. Again, 651-773-3859. We'll be happy to share our thoughts and ideas with you and really educate you so you understand. And one thing I'll add is, remember, 59 and a half is the key age, because now you get to take control of your IRA or 401k and you can do what you want with it. And until your partner comes back into play at 73 or potentially 75, depending on your age. So it gives you that window to fix things that, or undo things that are being done to you that you don't really understand. With that, I want to thank all you folks. We appreciate your time. Hope you're enjoying the show. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Listen to more with Don Reynolds and Corey Stilton on the Strategic Asset Preservation Podcast by visiting 800preserve.com.
The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.